Hey, how's it going? Patriot, reporting for duty. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are back with another episode of Squad Fights, where you guys submit your squads, I review them, I rate them, and you fight against each other to the death. And the winner gets a shout out on Twitter. So we're going to start off today with Ben's squad, and that's a really solid squad to start off. Oh my god. Probably the best squad I've seen so far on Squad Fights. Let's start off by rating the defense. Overall, it's probably the best defense I've seen. It's well rounded, it's got amazing defenders, probably, arguably, you know, all of them are top range defenders. Ferdinand, you know, Scream PK, Alba, Walker and Ter Stegen in goal. Do you know what? I was going to say 9.5, but you can't improve too much. Even though you could improve, it's so well rounded. All the defenders are amazing. I'm going to have to give it a 10. First 10 rating, and that defense is just solid. Moving on to the midfield, we've got Milner, Scream, we've got Rashford, who actually plays up top, so that'll be Matuidi. So Milner, Matuidi, Kante and Dybala. Solid midfield. Once again, really strong midfield, one of the stronger midfields I've seen, and that's going to have to be a 9.5. That's going to have to be a 9.5. It's solid. Once again, not a lot of improvement you can do. Well balanced. At the attack, Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the best strikers, if not the best striker on FIFA, and he's paired up with Marcus Rashford, who's an interesting pick, might be for chemistry reasons. You know, I'm going to have to give that attack a minimum of 9 because Ronaldo is just amazing, and Rashford is pretty good as well. But I'd say if you could improve on Rashford, I see you've got Vardy on the bench, but if you could improve on Rashford in the future, maybe an icon, maybe a better striker, then that'll be a 10 as well, but that's going to be 9.5 just because I assume Rashford plays really well for you. So an overall rating will be 9.5 for Ben's squad. It's a pretty good squad. It's one of the best we've seen on Squad Fights so far, and I'm really impressed with it. Only tips I could give you was maybe improve Rashford, and that's a great start. And let's move on to the next squad, but before we do, make sure you do submit your squads by Thursday evening. You won't make the video if you don't submit by then, and please be sure to submit them in a screenshot format, just as Ben has done. Make sure they're screenshotted on Xbox or PlayStation. It's really hard to make them look good in the video if you're just, you know, a scrappy picture on your phone. Alrighty, moving on to the next squad, we've got Jake, and he's got an interesting team. It's a hybrid, and he's got a decent defense. You know, Manolas stands out. He also has Areola, who's decent, and Tejas. We all know Middletown's good, and Malachite is okay. I'm going to have to give that defense a 7.5. It's very close to an 8. It's very close to an 8, but it could be slightly improved. Maybe get a better right back, but then again, you do want to get good chemistry on Mertens. You know what? I'm going to bump that up to an 8. I was going to give it 7.5 at first, but you know what? I bet it plays really well in game because the players are meta. They might not be the highest overall, but that's going to be an 8 for Jake. The midfield is also decent. We've got Fabinho, Fabian, Mertens, and Lucas. That's a good midfield. That's going to be a 7.5. And up top, once again, a really meta player, Jamie Vardy. I think we've seen him in like every squad, either in the starting 11 or on the bench. Definitely worth doing his SBC if you haven't done it already. Probably give it a try if it's still around. So yeah, Gabriel Jesus, Jamie Vardy, Player of the Month. That's going to be another 7.5, just because they're very mainstream. Even though they're very meta, you could probably improve on them. Not saying it's a bad attack at all. And it's very well balanced overall. That's what I like about this team. So I'm going to give it 7.5, almost an 8. Almost an 8, bro, but it's a 7.5 average. If you improve a couple of players, it could easily be an 8. It's not far off it. Alrighty, let's move on to the next squad. This squad is sent in by Jaden, and it's once again another solid squad. Just having a quick glance over it. His defense is solid. He's got Alisson, Player of the Month Silver. He's got Van Dijk and UCL Walker. That's a really good squad. Only player that stands out is a left back, mate. I'm gonna have to give that defense an 8.5. I'd recommend you get Tejas. Everyone loves Tejas. He's a really good player. I've played him as well, and he's amazing. He's arguably better than Robertson. So if you get Tejas in there, he won't ruin your chemistry, and that could easily be a 9, maybe a 9.5. So I'm going to give you an 8.5 for your defense. It's a good defense, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I feel like the left back is letting you down. He might be great in game, but I don't know. Haven't had experience with him. And the midfield is one of the strongest I've seen. It's really well balanced. We've got Nakata, we got De Bruyne and Firmino really attacking. I've just realised they're all rather attacking players, but it's really well overall. You could probably do a CDM in there, or a more central midfield who can actually track back a bit more. But I'm sure it works for you. Firmino's got good stats all around. So do you know what? That defense is going to be a 9, pushing 9.5. Do you know what? I'll give you a 9.5 because I've been a bit harsh with your defense. And the attack is incredible. You've got Hazard, Shearer, and we've got Sterling. Damn, that's a good attack. Once again, one of the stronger attacks I've seen. It's really well balanced, so I'm going to give it a 9.5. Overall, decently balanced team, apart from the left back. He just stands out like a sore thumb. So I'm going to give you an average of 9, Jaden. Good squad, bro. This one's by Jupiter. I hope I pronounced the name right. And it's a good squad, bro. It's a hybrid once again. I'm liking the hybrids, by the way. If you can pull off a hybrid, that's some extra points, because I love a cheeky hybrid. Good defense, once again. Really solid bench. Just glanced at it now. Butrogeno on the bench. Wow, I am shocked to see him on the bench. But yeah, defense is going to have to be an 8. It's decent. It could be a little better, but it's overall balanced quite well. Midfield, once again, is solid. A couple of special cards in there, including 2 screen players. And that's going to be another 8. And the attack is decent. Player of the month, Vardy, and player of the month from the La Liga. I forgot his name. But I've seen his stats and he looks incredible, which is really well balanced. That's 8.5. And the average is going to be 8.5, bro, just because the team's really well balanced. So I like this team. I bet it plays really well. Let's move on to the next squad, which is the last squad, but not the least. It'll be Kieran's squad. Make sure you do submit your squads. We had less entries than last week. Some of you guys submitted squads which weren't your actual squads, which were from like squad building sites like Footbin and whatever. I can't accept those, sorry. It's got to be your own squad, and preferably a screenshot. So make sure you do submit them. And if you're enjoying this video, make sure you do drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more. Alrighty, going back to Kieran's squad. Once again, a really solid defense. Do you know what? I'm liking the fact that people are spending money making the defense, as good as their attack and midfield, if not better, because this year defense is a big part of the game. And I love it. I love Oblak, I love Ramos, I love that special Tejas and Militao. Arguably, you could upgrade Militao and Bellerin, but I think Bellerin could do an upgrade. I'm not sure exactly who you'd go for, but there's a couple of informs from the La Liga, a couple of good Spanish right backs. I'd say improve the right back, mate. He wasn't too good for me, and overall 8.5 for the defense, even though it's real solid. The midfield is once again real good. We have Guardiola, we have Fabinho and Royce in that midfield, and I'm going to give that an 8. It's decent, it's well balanced, it's pushing on an 8.5, but it's at an 8. And moving on to the attack, we've got Sane, we've got Informed Werner, and Special Flashback Walcott, who I heard was a beast. That's a good attack. Once again, well balanced, so that's 8.5, and an overall 8.5. Once again, improve the right back, and that 8.5 could possibly go closer to a 9. And it's a really good squad. Once again, big thank you for sending all your squads in. We're going to announce the winner in a second. Before we do, hit that like, subscribe to the channel, make sure you've got your squads ready for next week. Hopefully we get more squads in. And the winner of today's episode is going to be Ben, who's had arguably one of the best squads sent in. In my opinion, it's the best squad sent in. It's well balanced. It's got everything, to be fair. Not gonna lie, Jaden, he was really close with this squad. It was a really good squad as well, but I feel like Ben edged it. Congrats to Ben. Shout out to him. His Twitter is @benfulf321. So make sure you do drop him a follow and all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys next time with another upload. Make sure you follow me on twitch.tv/Patriot_FC for more live streams. I'll see you there. Once again, big shout out to Isam for editing this video. He's an absolute legend. He's been helping out with the uploads on the channel.